All right, everyone. In the wake of Iran attacking Israel, actually, the Biden administration has had a very interesting reaction. They're actually attempting to blame Donald Trump for the situation. Donald Trump, who hasn't been in office for a number of years, you will see. Why? Because he scrapped the Iran deal. There's a historical precedent for such deals being a bad idea. Effectively, it was nothing more than bribery. We're going to give you a bunch of money and free up some sanctions and stuff. Please don't develop nukes and please don't attack anyone. Here's the most recent historical precedent of significance that I can think of. North Korea. Yes, indeed. You know that atomic state that repeatedly threatens its southern neighbor and occasionally threatens other nations as well, including Japan, Taiwan, the Philippines, the United States. Sometimes even disagrees with Russia and China, which generally are on its side, but still hazes them for some reason. You remember back in the 1990s when Bill Clinton said, well, it was so great what we did with China. We sweetened the deal with them. We said, we know you're commies and we have a problem with you because of that, but we want to be friends at least for economic purposes because, you got to make a lot of dosh in this business. So suck on some Coca-Cola. And we're going to open up trade to China. We'll recognize you as the sovereign over all of China, and we'll denigrate Taiwan, and we'll say, well, they're sovereign. We'll guarantee that they can do what they want, but they're not really a nation. You remember that? When they gave nuclear material to the North Koreans? And Bill Clinton, no strings attached, sent over a bunch of uranium and said, well, we'll help you build a nuclear plant. We'll give you fucking nuclear power. Just please don't use it to make weapons. And please allow inspectors in to make sure you're not making weapons, because we got to take care of things. What did North Korea immediately do? The plant opens, and they kick the inspectors out, and they begin enriching nuclear material and building atomic weapons. And over the course of some time, they eventually succeeded. Now they have weapons that appear to be a little more sophisticated than the really rudimentary ones they originally had, and we're thinking the stockpile is probably 5 to 10 warheads or something like that, and they're a bit better than they were, 10 years ago. Which would do a huge amount of damage against South Korea, where they deployed. Of course, they don't have miniaturization. They can't put them on missiles, so they'd have to fly them across. But, if they Zerg rushed the border, half of South Korea's population would die within the first day. Just saying, the entire DMZ would be a bunch of craters. You remember when that happened? And Bill Clinton was like, I didn't do anything wrong. So I was trying to give these people electricity because they were impoverished, and the United States is charitable. Why are they building these bombs? And it was inexplicable, and it was like, you sort of kind of did it on purpose. Biden's White House effectively is arguing that the same thing should be done with Iran, with similar atomic connotations. Now, I am not anti-Iranian. I have no problem with the people of Iran, and I really don't give a shit if they build nuclear reactors or even refine weapons-grade material. I don't care if they get the bomb. It's no threat to me. I don't care. They're in the Middle East. I'm in the United States / Western Europe. Doesn't affect me. If they want to haul off and make a bunch of atomic bombs, they're just going to get nuked by the Israelis anyway, so it's no skin off my back. I think it's probably a poor idea. They should probably develop a nuclear ambiguity strategy, much like the Israelis have. Well, maybe we've got a couple of atom bombs. Maybe, maybe not. We'll just keep people guessing so that they leave us alone, hopefully. It doesn't matter. But expecting them not to haul off under the situation, especially when their consulate is bombed. And then to blame the person who came before years ago simply for scrapping a deal that would have had absolutely no impact on the situation at all. The Israelis still would have bombed the consulate. It's like they're arguing effectively with Kirby and all of these others coming out to the press. They're effectively arguing that if Iran had been paid more money, they wouldn't attack people. Are you going to pay literally every non-Western aligned country in the world billions and billions of dollars in order to not haul off and declare war on somebody? Because I don't think we can afford that. We're having problems even getting Congress to pass money off to the Ukrainians, who are at least marginally an ally of ours. Kind of, sort of. Fair-weathered friend, so to speak. We're having problems with that. Other countries, if they see that, they'll misbehave in order to get money from us. It's natural. I know I would. If I were in some third world tin horn country, I'd raise shit too, and I would say, hey, United States, haha, look at me, and, do a little ethnic cleansing or something. When the United States diplomatically protests, you tell them, hey, if you pay us, we'll stop. It sounds like a good deal. Yeah, Uncle Sam, you're loaded, you're flush. Well, we're not flush. My people struggle to get 2 meals a day, so, sweeten the deal a little bit. Give us some of those grain shipments, and I promise it won't happen again. Just keep that grain coming. It might depress the local farmers, but, I'm providing welfare for my people. That's sort of how leftoidism works. You kill a bunch of people and then make them reliant on you. In the White House, this is a goddamn diplomatic mess. It makes no sense. Donald Trump is absolutely not responsible for the situation. Now, this is a response to Donald Trump saying this is a travesty. If I was president, it wouldn't have happened. He is fundamentally correct. If Donald Trump were in the White House right now, things would not have popped off in Ukraine. They wouldn't have popped off in Israel and in Gaza. You would not have the Venezuelans warmongering after a large swath of Guyana over Essequibo. You wouldn't have China saber-rattling over Taiwan, at least not at this level. You wouldn't have North Korea conducting so many missile tests and threatening its neighbors constantly. None of these things would have happened. Western leadership would have been led by a singular, empowered individual who had a coherent foreign policy message. Not always 100%, but close enough. Whereas with Joe Biden, it's more like close enough is way out of reach. It's more like, you struggle to obtain slightly sub-mediocre diplomatic policies. On a normal day, the diplomatic policies are horseshit. They can't even get their messaging straight. Sometimes members of the administration literally countermand one another on foreign policy issues. Obviously, you don't have a singular individual running the show. Iran knows this. That's why they're acting that way. The Israelis and Hamas both know this. The Venezuelans know this. Everyone in the world knows this. They're hoping to catch us with our pants down when we're incapable of operating in a diplomatic manner, in a sane manner. They're hoping that Joe Biden, by the way, is reelected. I guarantee the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, they're all begging for him to be reelected. That's why they're laundering probably billions of dollars right now through back channels into the U.S. election. You think that those PACs aren't getting Chinese money? Because the Chinese would rather negotiate with weak-ass Biden and his dumb administration than somebody who might try to strong-arm them? Guaranteed. That's about all. Peace out.